Hey guys, today we're gonna rank characters based on their performance in their individual role. We're gonna find out who are the top 5 best sustain characters in the game, who are the top 5 best main DPS characters in the game, and so on and so forth. Before we're gonna start off, I want to give a little bit of an explanation and clarify something. As I see quite a bunch of people, especially on my very previous video where I established a character tier list. There is a lot of confusion about me ranking some characters based upon their performance on P0, while I rank others based upon their performance on P1, some on P2, very little ones even at P3. Plus, there are also characters in the game that I rank based upon their performance on P5. And now people are hitting me up and asking the question of, isn't this a really unfair and not a well-rounded approach to me ranking the characters? And yeah, let me explain that. It is actually the only possible way to rank the characters. There is no other way you could do this. Let me tell you why. See, the way you would do this, let me take a wild guess here and make a claim. The way you would want me to rank the characters is that I rank every single character in this game based upon their performance on P0, so that we establish a fair environment, especially when it comes to free-to-play or low-spender players, right? But listen, this is not the way to do this. This is a completely unrealistic scenario that you are painting here. Because even players that would actively avoid to obtain some portraits, that play this game very casually as like a character collector and more than using Reverse1999 as an app rather than a game. They don't care about meta, blah blah. See, even these players, they are 100% guaranteed to get some portraits at some point because they will lose 50-50s. The point is, no player in the world has every single character at P0. Everyone has Flutter Page P1, everyone who pulled for the Young has Hair P2, and so on and so forth, right? So we have to rank the characters based upon their recommended realistic power spike. You cannot rank every character at P2 because no player has that. You cannot rank every character on P5 because no one has that, right? Everyone has some portraits here and there. And also, if I would rank, for example, every character on P0, not only would I cater towards really bad players, aka casuals, but it would also go against what I'm teaching on my channel. I always put a lot of emphasis onto the importance and necessity of portraits. So let me say that one more time. The only realistic and not misleading way would be to, or is to rank characters based on realistic power spikes, their recommended realistic power spikes. And for some characters that is P0, for some characters that is P1, and for some characters that is P2. That is just the realistic approach. This is how this game works. You know what I mean? Look, like if I would rank, let me give you an example actually. If I would rank Liang Yue on P0, she would be like C or D tier. But if I rank her at P2, she becomes an S tier, maybe A. You know, it's very close between these rankings. So, of course, I'm gonna have to rank her at P2, right? There is no other way. Otherwise, like if I would make a tier list and I put Liang Yue on P0 in like D or C tier, and then people look at this, it would be completely misleading and wrong information. It would be factually wrong, because that is not a scenario in which this character unlocks her performance and excels. Same exact logic goes into teammates. Like, you know, I cannot rank a Liang Yue based upon her not playing her together with like Chen Higuang. Same goes for every single other character in this game. I cannot rank a Nautica based upon we are not playing her in her best possible environment. Like, if you play Nautica without Semmelweis, she drops off a cliff, right? She needs her teammates to accumulate the blood tide. Otherwise, like, Nautica is by far the best character of all time, and it is a clear S rank. But if I go by unrealistic scenarios, for example, by not ranking her at P5 or not ranking her based upon her performance in her best environment onto her best power spike, then it is misleading. Then Nautica would be like, again, it would be like B or C tier or something like that, and that would actually be laughably dumb. You know what I mean? So again, a realistic to establish and recommended power spike. This is how we have to rank the characters. And again, for some characters that means P0, for some it means P1, for others it means P2, and we have two characters that are main DPS characters released on major anniversaries, and they are ranked at P5. This is how this game works, and this is how this game has to be played. If I wouldn't do it that way, it would be completely misleading, and that's why I do it the way I do it. With that information being out of the way, let's start actually ranking the characters, and we're gonna start off by ranking our main DPS characters, as this is the most crystal clear ranking that everyone and their mom should be aware of at this point. I will give rank number 5 to Lucy. Lucy is only gonna be at rank 5 because her Euphoria update number 2 is not 100% confirmed yet. Once this Euphoria number 2 would be confirmed, she would probably rise all the ranks all the way up to rank 2, maybe 3. You know, we gotta first take a look at that Euphoria number 2, and then we can make a more accurate ranking here. But for the time being, even without her Euphoria number 2, Lucy is still number 5 best main DPS character in the game. Then rank number 3 and 4, they are interchangeable. So let's rank these characters right now both together, with Paper Heron at rank number 4 and Liang Yue at rank number 3. Now, the reason why I gave the rank number 3 to Liang and not to Paper Heron is because Liang Yue is, individually speaking, a better character than Paper Heron. But Paper Heron's damage output rises a little bit above Liang Yue's if you play her in the correct team, which we base everything upon, right? So the impromptu team as a whole would deal in most scenarios more damage than the follow-up attack team with Liang Yue. But again, Liang Yue is individual, has more prowess than Paper Heron alone would, and therefore I go by that logic and rank Liang Yue at the rank number 3 and put Paper Heron at 4. Now the top 2, this is what I meant with everything being completely crystal clear and there is no debate about it. That is Regulus at number 2 with her new Euphoria update in the 3rd anniversary, turning her into an instrument character, and looking at how strong her P2 power spike actually is, she is going to deal more damage than any other character in this game, other than probably Lucy with her Euphoria number 2, and our number 1 spot with the best character of all time by far, Nautica. And that is gonna be it for the main DPS rankings. We have Nautica ruling above everyone else, easily, not even close. Then we have Regulus as a instrument character in the 3rd anniversary. Everything we say, the whole rankings here are based upon we or us already being in the 3rd anniversary. So keep that in mind, that is why Regulus is number 2. And then Liang Yue, Paper Heron, I explained that one, and we have Lucy Bussy because she doesn't have a Euphoria number 2, or number 1 even. I think Lucy gets a Euphoria number 1 if I'm not mistaken. I forgot about that. She doesn't get a new Euphoria update, it's not confirmed yet, and that's why she's only rank 5. So now let's move on to the next role. Which are our sustain characters, guys? Do we love them? I don't know anymore. But anyways, let's dive into it. We have at rank number 5, Robushka. Now look, she's on par when it comes to her healing capabilities with like a 2 fairy, even a Via. Via is a little bit more specific because of the whole, she needs mental DPS characters to be played together with. But yeah, all of these characters, they are quite close when it comes to their healing capabilities. What nets Robushka, the rank number 5 here on this list? is the fact that she is just simply played in the best team in the game, which is Bloodhide. She is the best in slot there, and that deserves respect, and therefore she gets the rank number 5. Now let's rank our shield bots, right? Those 3 characters are exactly the same characters. They just stay on the field and they provide your entire team with shields at the start of the round, and that's all they do. Now, yeah, it goes based upon how new these characters are. First we got Kiparina, then we got Marsha, which is a new Kiparina, is a little bit better than Kiparina individually speaking, but belongs to the worst team. So these 2 are the same characters but for different archetypes, and it balances out when it comes to their power level. Because yeah, Marsha is a little bit better individually speaking than Kiparina, but Kiparina belongs to the better archetype, and that's why, yeah, the power level overall, the value that these characters have, they are like on the same level exactly. Now Enigma is a little bit of a different story because he breaks the ceiling. Not only is he a little bit better individually speaking than a Marsha would be, but he also belongs to a better archetype than even a Skiparina would, you know? So he's the best individual character out of these 3, and he belongs to the best archetype as well out of these 3. So that's pretty crazy, and that's why Enigma has to be on top of the shield bot characters that we currently have. I hope we don't get more characters like this, by the way. It's extremely boring. But anyways, that's not the point of this video. Now, who of these characters here rules above all else, and why? It is of course Fatutu. Fatutu is by far the best sustain character in the game, and no one comes even close. No, look, what sustain characters are all about is they provide either healing or shielding to your team, and they cleanse debuffs. That's basically about it, you know what I mean? And no other character in this game comes even remotely close to how good Fatutu does these things. Fatutu heals you for 0 AP, Fatutu cleanses your entire team from all debuffs for 0 AP, you can even play her actively. She has an ult that deals damage, right? You get the point. And she's already, just like that, she's already the best out of all of these characters. No one else here cleanses debuffs for 0 AP. Yeah, and even her healing capabilities are still quite on the level of a Robushka, on a Via, on a 2 Fairy, but yeah, to be on par with these characters, you would have to use an AP. But you make more than up for this 1 AP by you cleansing your entire team from all debuffs every single turn. You know, you're completely immune to debuffs. No other character does this. You have to play Marsha actively for that. You have to use Skiparina's ultimate in order for you to accomplish that. So you are not AP free immune to debuffs. And it does get better because the best thing about Fatutu is her damage spread ability, which is 100% unique to only Fatutu. No other character in this game has that. Carcania has it to some extent, but yeah, we all know Fatutu heavily outclasses the thing that makes Carcania special, you know? Even something that is completely unique to only her. We have our boring shield bots that are only here to provide shields, they don't do anything else. And then we have some heal bots, right? Fatutu is the only one who breaks the ceiling here, who is, you have to think about her in her own league, basically. She has so much, she's so much better. Like, she's not even comparable to all of these other characters when it comes to what a sustain character needs to bring to your team, and that's why she's obviously our rank number 1. Next up, let's do our sub-DPS characters, and this role is not only a little bit weird, but also on the weaker side of things. But anyways, doesn't really matter. So at rank 5, I would put here Chen Higuang, just simply because of how much value he provides to one of the currently best main DPS characters in the game with Liang Yue. He is very, very unique in the way that he reduces the size of your hand, which caters perfectly towards Liang Yue. He is in one of the best teams in the entire game, is irreplaceable. There is no other character that could possibly take his spot. You can't even wing it, right? You have to have Chen Higuang if you want to play the follow-up attack lineup together with Liang Yue. It gives him a whole bunch of value as, yeah, one of the best teams in the game, a very, very unique ability, irreplaceable, you know, I mean, that deserves some respect. And now my number 4 ranking, that will, or might, this could cause some uproar and some discussion, because I will put Melania into here, and that is because she is a little bit similar to Chen Higuang. I mean every single sub-DPS is a little bit similar in that regard, but look, Melania takes it to a little bit of a different level, as without Melania you can't play the archetype. You could theoretically play follow-up, right? You could play the follow-up attack team by binding Anyonala to Kalabauna and then play them with Flutterpage and Fatutu. But you cannot build an archetype, an ultimate archetype team without Melania. That is simply completely impossible, right? And for that, even though Melania is individually speaking very, very weak and shouldn't be considered meta anymore, just based upon her individual performance, but still, the uniqueness that she provides, the things that she does, enables a whole archetype to be playable, and that deserves respect. You will also see this when we talk about another character later down the line. Then rank number 3 is, I will give it to Ulrich, just simply because he is the sub-DPS in the game that deals by far the most amount of damage. No other sub-DPS character in this game comes close to the damage that he deals. Corvus is a little bit close there, but Corvus is not the best in slot, and just a substitute niche kind of scenario. Ulrich is the powerhouse, Ulrich is the best in slot, and yeah, what he provides to the Dynamo archetype is just really truly unmatched, because also the most important character in the lineup for Dynamo is Sharon, and no other character in the Dynamo archetype synergizes so well with Sharon like Ulrich would, you know? Synergize the best with the most important character of your archetype, deal the most amount of damage in your archetype, and yeah, have some buffs and debuffs and produce dynamos. You know, he does it all, and he does it better than any other character in the game would in his archetype. So Dynamo is also the second best team in the game, and Ulrich is the best in slot there, and that's why I give Ulrich the rank number 3. Okay, and now to the 2 characters that break the ceiling, and these 2 are like crystal clear, number 1 and number 2. Easily. Number 2, Tuesday. With her Euphoria update that she gets in version 3.5, with how good Poison is in general, and the fact that Tuesday now also enables the archetype, you know. We wouldn't be able to play Poison if Tuesday wouldn't exist. It's the same exact scenario as Melania. Without Melania, an ultimate archetype doesn't exist. And Tuesday is now, with her newly established Euphoria, not only way better individually than Melania, but she also enables a whole better archetype than Melania. So she has to be at least 1 rank higher than Melania. But with how good she is, with how good the Poison lineup can be, if you have Willow and Tuesday at P3 with Ramona P1 there, it's quite ridiculous. The only thing that this Poison lineup misses to truly establish a place in the like top 6 metagame is a sustain. The ultimate archetype team doesn't even have a sustain, while Poison theoretically has at least Sotheby, right? So there we go. I think no one can argue about how valuable and how good of a character our Poison Queen Tuesday is. And now look, the best sub-DPS character in the game. Who is it, guys? You tell me. It is Semmelweis. Semmelweis is the best in slot, in the very best team in the game. She is the sub-DPS for the best character of all time. She's irreplaceable. She also enables an archetype. It is also like Nautica and Semmelweis, they are so closely bound together that these 2 these two are blood tight. You can go as far and say that. And to have the best archetype in the entire game, being the, yeah, like, you know, I think I said everything. I think it's crystal clear. I don't need to say anything else. So there we go. Those were the top 5 best sub-DPS characters in the game at the 3rd anniversary. And now onto our support slot. Let me explain just briefly what it means to be a support, or what would be the best case scenario for you if you would be a support. You would want the ability to enable the archetype. Now, this is not the case for every single archetype, you know. Tuesday is the sub-DPS enables poison, not the support. That's why, like, spoiler alert, that is a very, very bad thing for Ramona and for Jessica. Jessica can get out of here. For Ramona, this is a really bad thing. That hurts her viability as a support, you know, because she is not the archetype enabler, but it's Tuesday. And same for Bloodtide. Semmelweis enables the Bloodtide team. She's the sub-DPS. So the support is already not gonna be crushing it too hard, you know. Sorry, Sentinel. That's what you need to do. Look, as the sub-DPS, you want to support and cater everything towards what your main DPS specifically needs and wants. But the actual support of the team is what provides and caters everything towards what the archetype as a whole needs. Okay, and that is also the reason why, no matter how strong she might be individually, I cannot give a higher rank to Lawrence Butterfly than rank number 5. She is a powerhouse individually, she is very, very strong, and she elevates her archetype to a new level, yes, but she doesn't enable the archetype, and that's a problem, right? Powerhouse character, individually speaking, provides something very, very unique to a team that no other character provides, with her copying the incantation, or yeah, one incantation of your choice, right? That is all nice, sweet and bloomy, but as a support character, she is not really what enables the archetype, and that hurts a support character. Then on rank number 4, we have Coppelia. That is simply because Instrument is a better archetype than Afterglow would be, and Coppelia will be a 100% necessity. You will have to play Coppelia in the Instrument archetype for quite a while, to say it at least. So that is kind of enabling you to play the Instrument archetype. So for the time being, Coppelia has more value to your account than a Lawrence Butterfly would have. And that's why Coppelia is a rank higher and takes spot number 4. Now, the top 3 are absolute gigantic powerhouses, legendary characters, among the best characters in the entire game, you know. That is Flutterpage. She also enables the follow-up attack archetype. You cannot play follow-up attack, or you shouldn't, you know, really shouldn't play a follow-up attack team if you don't have Flutterpage. It's pretty much impossible. And I think for Flutterpage, I can cut it short here, because everyone knows everything about Flutterpage and how much of a legendary broken character she actually is. Then rank number 2 should also come to no one's surprise. That is of course Sharon. Sharon enables his archetype. Everyone, I'm pretty sure, or at least that's how it should be, is that everyone tells you, man, hey, if you don't have Sharon, don't even worry about playing the Dynamo archetype. And that is truly an archetype enabler. He does it so incredibly well that even that it goes as far as everyone telling you, don't play the second best archetype in the entire game if you don't have this one character with Sharon. I mean, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Everyone wants Sharon. Everyone knows how good Sharon is. And him providing you with the electric searching pulsing field, or whatever that field is called, on rank 3 on turn 2 is like absolutely ridiculously crazy, you know? The value of this character is through the roof. I think that's not a secret or a crazy revelation that I'm doing here. Okay, And then guess who is ranked number 1? It's of course Rihanna. That is a character that elevates every single team, no matter where you would put her in, to a whole different level. Every single team, not just an archetype specifically or anything like that. It's every archetype, it's every team. You can put her everywhere and the team is gonna get better. Sometimes you're gonna replace the sub-DPS like Isolde with Rihanna. Sometimes you're gonna replace the support. You can fill her into every single slot in case you don't have a character. That kind of, for, yeah, not most, but quite a bunch of players, will also enable to play the archetype, you know what I mean? She comes with this brand new, very unique mechanic that is only bound to her to give your team extra turns. And I mean, holy crap, that is this character is a complete game changer for every single account on the planet, right? So that's why Rihanna takes our spot number 1. Should be quite obvious if I'm honest. And that's it about the video, guys. I hope that was fun and informative. If, let me know in the comments down below if there is any content you would like me to cover, if there's anything you would like me to talk about or anything like that. Let me know in the comment section down below, because otherwise we are hitting this void again of there's just absolutely no content in this game whatsoever, and we will be sitting here for like 12-13 days right now without anything to talk about, without anything to cover. So if you have any ideas, if there's anything you would like me to cover, please let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and we love this game.